Good evening. It's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and it's Make It Monday. Hope you'll pop on and say hello. I'm going to just make sure that we are streaming okay here. Get into the right place. If you can't leave a comment, you can just let me know by a heart or a thumbs up. It looks like we have sound. So, all right. The color in this on this camera is not real. I don't have an orange shirt on, although it looks like a lovely color, but my shirt is very Calypso coral-ish. So having said that, I guess that's an excuse if my face looks bad too. Hi Betty, hi Sylvia, welcome. All right. It's been a day. So Saturday was our fundraiser and it went really well. We raised well over 4,800. Very, very busy day. And that was with donations, etc. And thank you to all of you who helped with that. Hi, Barbara. Yeah, so I'm still putting stuff away and it's a very slow process. So today I was like, what am I going to show them? Because what was I doing today? I forget. I wasn't home. Well, I had to meet up with my teammate, one of my teammates. Talara just left. She'll pop on here in a second probably. She came to sign up for the demonstrator special, which I'll talk about in a second. And so, yeah, it's been a busy day. I'm sure you guys have had a busy day too. Tell me what you've been doing today. Hi, Charlene. Did I say hi to you? Sorry. Busy chatting and not paying attention to what I'm saying. All right. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys how to do the little pouch, little treat packet that I gave away at the end of the session on Saturday. And because it's fun and easy, I had at least one request for the pattern. And so I thought, I'll show them how to do that. And I got my new order today. So I have some new stuff to show you. So maybe you'll want to see that too. All right. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I just want to mention our demonstrator kit special, and it started on the 1st. It goes to the 31st. You can get $125 worth of product for just $35 plus tax. So it'll be like 37 maybe or something like that. It's very, very worthwhile. Or you could spend the $189 or the $99 and get $189. But most people are choosing, I think, the $35 option because then you can go in after you sign up and you can get your discount on products, and your order can count towards your hostess rewards and other things that are available to demonstrators. So yeah, so it's definitely probably the best deal is the $35 kit. So just wanted to remind you about that. Also, I need to sit down and work on retreat stuff because that's coming up in less than a month. Very excited about that. Some of you guys are coming and we're going to have a lot of fun. So working on that as well. And yeah, classes start this week for my Mount Airy class on Wednesday, and then my Christmas card Stamp-A-Stack is Thursday. I do want to mention I still have 1 or 2 openings I might have 1 spot for the October Stamp-A-Stack, and I have, I think 2 spots left for the November one. Both of those at my house. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. So let's go ahead and get started with the project that I want to show you, and then I'll show you some products that I got in the mail today. All right. So I pulled out this paper. I can't remember what this is from, but had sunflowers on it, and I wanted to maybe use this set because I wanted to show you some of the other cards that we did. One that we did on Saturday, and then some others that I did as samples. So if you guys want, I'll give you a second. if you're where you can, in your stamp room, if you want to get a piece of designer paper or just a piece of scrap paper and do this with me, you need an 8x8 piece. So go grab that quick. I'm going to do it twice so that you can see it twice. Hi, Sylvia. The other Sylvia. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, so 8x8 is what we're starting with. And the reason I grabbed this one because this one has these the little lines on it, and I think it might make it a little tricky. Not sure what that's going to look like with the lines. So I'm going to do, I had it laying the way I wanted to do it, and then I moved it. So anyways, all right. So here we go. Hi, Donna. Welcome. So we're going to fold it in half. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome. I'm showing you a treat pouch. So guys, if you just popped on and you want to grab a piece of scrap paper, we need 8x8 inches. Or if you want to just do it on any square piece of paper, if you don't have a cutter or something, you can do it and get the size later. Okay. Hi, Ruth. I love this. Everybody's popping on. So I just have a diagonal fold in the center. See if I remember how to do this. And then we're going to fold each side of that into the center line. And it's a little tricky here at the point because, of course, that doesn't want to fold. But don't panic too much about that because it's not that terribly important. It doesn't show that much. So I didn't get it clear to the point there. But I just want to make sure that my other side matches it. So I'm going to make sure it matches up here. And if this one doesn't go clear to the point, that will be okay. And that's even worse than the other one. So I might try to move it up just a hair. There's no, you can see there's no math to this, okay? You'll love that part other than the square that you need to start with. Okay, so I moved both of those up and now I have this nice point at the bottom. All right, the next step is folding this up. And this is pretty much just a trial and error. You want to go about halfway between this line and the point up here. So something like that. And then that's going to tuck down in here like that. All right, next step is, am I going too fast? I will do another one, is folding each of these sides in to, right in to match with the piece that we folded up there. Same with this one. I was like, am I going to remember how to do this? And I thought, well, I made like 30 of them, so I should remember how to do it. After you do 30, you definitely got that ingrained in your brain. All right, now there's one step here. We're going to pull this back out and just tuck in that fold so that it's folded in. And then that creates its own little pouch there instead of just a loose flap. You do that on both sides. All right, now this one I'm just going to pull back out here. You could trim this off if you want to. I just left it as is and just put adhesive here. And then you're just going to tuck that back in there. Notice these aren't completely staying together, so you want to just hold that together as good as you can and tuck that down and glue that into that. And there's your little pouch. You're just going to fold this down over itself. And I think I forgot to bring my ribbon in here. It was laying on the table with my phone. I might need to grab that. But there you go. How quick and easy is that? Hi, Cindy. I didn't see you pop on there. All right, so we'll do it one more time. So if you didn't have a chance to grab a piece of paper, you need 8x8. I want to grab my ribbon real quick for that. All right, here we go. My My ribbon got tangled in here. Was dragging it along to the thing yesterday or Saturday. So, all right. So I'm just going to wrap this around here and create a little front flap to that. Hi, Melinda. And I'm just going to tie that off to the side here. This is our in color ribbon, and it's so nice to work with, and it's so pretty. And these are not ribbon scissors. All right, so I wasn't sure how I was going to decorate this. I'll show you, for if you weren't there, I'll show you the one I did. I did a fall one to go with our fall theme. But I pulled out one of these tags from our traditional labels, and I embossed it with a new embossing folder. Hopefully I can turn that enough that you can see that little pattern. I'll show you what it's called. It's called Beautiful Pattern. It has like little squares and diamonds, I guess more like it, with a tiny little like flower inside of each one. So I was thinking of making one of these to put on here, but I'm not sure. Let's play with that a second. The color that we used, Berry Burst, for the card that we did yesterday was not the color that I need. And so trying to debate if I want to do it in pink or yellow. I think I'm going to do yellow. And maybe I will do, since I use Darling Ducky ribbon, I'm going to use Darling Ducky ink. How's that sound? And I might just grab something to stamp on here because my surface is not smooth. I wasn't getting the center of that sunflower. Now, I do want to show you, before I stamp this card here I did as a sample. And you can see the two-tone on that. So I inked it with a yellow, and then I sponged the center with early espresso. So it's coming out here just a little bit just to create that. I'm not going to do that today, but just as an option if you want to add more than just one solid color for this. Okay, I should have went over this way a little bit. The nice thing about the pink, and the reason I chose pink, was because October is Breast Cancer Awareness and Awareness Month. And so, and this stamp set is a give back or a fundraiser, the Love and Courage stamp set. So I think it's 10% of the sales of every stamp set goes to breast cancer research or care, something to do with that. So, so that's why I wanted to use the pink, but I think I want the yellow for this, but it's a little off, but just for kicks and giggles, it's a little bit big to put anything else with it, but just pretend. Let's just do this instead of the sunflower because I want to show you something else, okay? We are going to do another one in a second. All right, Talara, let me know how the pie is. Oh, hi, Linda. Welcome. Talara bought one of the pies that my daughter made for the fundraiser, and she just came and got it, so she's chowing down. It was a very fancy pie. All right, so a new product that I just got in the mail, let me find some paper here, you guys are going to be so excited about this. It's this tag punch. How cool is that? We have 3 tags in one. Like, yeah, I haven't tried it yet, so hopefully it punches good. And then the banners, the stamps that go with it are in here. So I'm going to choose one, but then I do want to, like I said, I haven't played with it, but when there's builders or things like that in here, to make it easy, like say you want a whole bunch of different sayings, you're working on different cards, I want to show you a way to do that. So let me choose, let's see, it's hard to read these. Here's thanks a million. Consider yourself hugged. I like that. You guys can consider yourself hugged. Some of my best ladies are on here. That's so cool. All right, let's do that in. Did you order it, Linda? Good. Yeah. We'll see how much we like it here really quick, right? All right. Again, I'm going to go on here because consider yourself hugged. All right. And I'll just use the top one. And then that's just going to pop up right on here with a dimensional, if it comes with me. I'm being really cheap tonight. All right. One thing is, whatever you glue on here, you want to just glue to the top of this. All right. So what I did was I actually took my dimensionals and put them like so above the ribbon, because that ribbon makes this perfect little tie. And then this whole thing can just come right out of that ribbon, and then you can tuck it back in just by moving it down like that and tucking it back in place. Okay, so there's that one. Now before I go to the second one of these, so that you guys can do it along with me, let's just try something. All right, let's take this and we're going to make a pattern. And let's see, I'm going to turn this over on this is a Stamparatus piece. And let's choose some different sayings that we want. I can't thank you enough. We'll put that one here. If you can get it off your finger. All right, I'm so grateful. There's a lot of thankful things here. And see that nice grid, I can see if it's straight. And let's see if there's a nice long one. Not really, but I can always use happy birthdays. How about you guys? Okay, that's not how I wanted to put that on there. Oops. I'm putting it face down so that I can take my stamp, take that one off, and just sit it here like this. Boom. Pick them all up. Grab my blank piece of paper. We'll ink those up. Stamp them. Now, boom, I can line all of them up and punch them out perfectly at the same time. Okay? Oh, Tosh will be so glad. I'm glad you like it. Did you wake your husband to eat a piece, Talara? She got it for him, and she was supposed to wake him up. We'll see if he was anxious for pie. All right, so what do you think of that, guys? Isn't that cool how I can get those three right, boom, bang, right done? And I can keep this little template, and I'm just going to cut it and keep it in my stamp set so that I can set that up anytime I want to. I'm just going to write top so that I know that's the top of the punch. And the top of the paper, because if I turn it this way, it's not going to punch right. Okay? Make sense? All right, let's go back to make another one of those folds. Well, let me show you this first. So this is one of the ones. I used a whole bunch of different retired papers and stuff, but I embossed this Amber Autumn piece, and I watercolored all of these leaves. I had a good time just throwing colors together and making some fun watercolor looks. And I embossed our gold foil and then inside, I have a little thank you note. The tags are from Thrivent, who supported the fundraiser, and then just a little tea bag. So if you didn't open your packet, that's what you got. All right. Yeah, loving the punch, right, guys? Okay. All right, let me close this ink. You ready to do another one with me? Who's trying this fold with me? I didn't measure this. Let me just, my ruler's gone. Okay, well, we've got this, right? So this is almost 4 by about 3 1/4. So you can easily fit a gift card in there along with a little note card. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back over. We're going to do a diagonal fold again. The color that you want on the outside, of course, you want to have on the outside. Oh, you made one. Good. Awesome. I'm glad. Okay, so we'll get this back up here. So we can get that point. That point's always fun. Okay, you can see it's not perfect, but remember we tucked that point under, so it doesn't matter, right? All right, and we're going to fold this up to about halfway between there. And then we're going to fold these in. This piece feels a little firmer than the first one, and they're both from the same set. That's interesting, huh? This paper was really firm. It was definitely a little different, but they all worked really well. So I was pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and get this tucked in here since I didn't do that part yet. But I like to not glue it until I get these corners done, just so that I can tuck them in and have it still a little bit more movable. And then, and last but not least, we have our Seal Plus. Tuck that in, fold this down. I just love that there's no measuring with that. And those of you that hate measuring, you will love doing something like this that doesn't take any of that brain work. So there's your next little pouch. All right. All right. I did want to show you a couple of the ideas. So this is the card that we made on Saturday. And I just embossed with our sunflower embossing folder a piece of designer paper from Full of Life. The watercolor on the background was the little washes were really pretty with this embossing folder. So we did that. And then this one I just showed you. I had seen this idea, but I didn't want the background to be plain. But rather than emboss the front of a card, I decided just to stamp heartfelt prayers over and over, back and forth, like not in the same spot, just to create a little bit of a background for that. For this one, I inked just the sunflower part and stamped it twice. It's not fabulous. I'm not sure if I would do that again, but I don't think it looks absolutely horrible, and it wasn't perfect. But just an idea that you can turn it into a full sunflower, and maybe if you use your Stamparatus, you can see what you're doing a little bit better. And then this one I had seen with a little pop-up window there. So yes, a few cards to send to those who are struggling certainly are always needed, right? And have to keep one hand. All right, so you guys ready for a sneak peek? Let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. All right, so what do I start with? I got quite a stack of stamps. These are, okay, that's not stamps. This is six bundles right here in this little amount, right? How cool is that? That's going to be so much easier for storage. I'm not sure of the height and how I'm going to set mine up yet, but It's definitely 6 bundles right there. That's crazy. So this is the banner sayings that we just used. So that's a bundle with there's no dies. It's just the punch with that. So I lied. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still 6 plus that. Excuse me. All right. So friendly foliage is one of the sets, and the picture was so pretty. Like you can stamp this, cut that out, and then it goes on a second layer. I will show you all of that eventually, but I'm just showing you what I have right now. I'm excited about this because I love these big words and the die cuts that will cut them out as well. So you've got the 3. The reason you have 3 is because like these will cut out the stamped image. These 2 will layer together to create a really cool layered background, or vice versa. I'm not sure. I think that's the case. I think this one goes on here. But yeah. This is interesting and something different. This is called pop-up petals. And these little dies create a little pop-up insert for your card. So you definitely will be seeing that. It'll be some fun learning to do that. And cute little sayings, quaint little images with the vases and stuff. Petals of Beauty, probably something very similar to what we've seen before. So if you're like, I don't need more flowers, I totally get that. I'm always drawn to the greenery because I always need those for, you know, flower arrangements or something. So I definitely wanted to get the dies, and I decided that I've done it before. I've got just the dies and not the stamp set. And then I was sorry I did. And then I had to pay full price. And so it just wasn't worth it. I'm getting both. Now, adventure, outdoor adventure. I have this kit for scrapbooking kit. And when this came out, I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely going in my cart. I'm very excited about this. The stamps are really cute. They're very distinctive. So you see shading and things. They're little crosshatch design stamps. And then, of course, the dies that coordinate with that. And then Creative Haven. This is a suite. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure that these come with this. Yeah, because this comes with the flowers. Check out these new pearls. They're so pretty, and they're nice and flat. Both of these are fairly flat. This reminds me of our old, the ones that we used to look like brads. Very similar, but the colors are so nice and earthy, and they'll grow great with the outdoor adventure. The Creative Haven, you've got these great tags. You've got this deep breath. Friends like you are golden. You're the best. You deserve all the good things. And it comes with this paper. I'm not looking at it right now, so I'm not positive like what all comes in this suite, but this has some pretty cool paper in it that's very, there's bookish stuff. There's some splattery in the background. There's cooking. This is mostly cooking and dough and things like that. So all kinds of like creative, crafty things, more cooking stuff. This is a really fun one. It has all the tools on it. And then the backgrounds are great. If you don't like the front paper, the back is something I definitely would use. There's chairs. But check out the patterns. Nice patterns on the back. So there's always, I find with Stampin' Up! Paper, there's always a side that I love. And unfortunately, sometimes 2 sides that I love. And then how do I use them all? We've got sewing, all kinds of sewing stuff. And then and look at that cool pattern. And then we've got lots of little pop-outs. So tags and plants and aprons and art things, just all kinds of fun things that you can pop out and stamp with. You've got scrapbooking and photos, and yeah. So this is definitely a hobby. What's it called? Creative Haven. So this covers a lot of those creative outlets that we all love so much. Now, there's another pack. This is called Brush with Beauty. So this goes, there's a piece that I lost out of there. Let me just open this up real quick and show you this, because I haven't seen it yet. I seriously have had no time to open this up today. It just came. And this will go with that flower set. So we'll look at the floral sides first. A real nice, sort of a patterned crumb cake look in the background. I can promise you that the camera will not do justice to that paper. You've got petal pink flowers, some light blues, yellows, really pretty. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. There's some calypso-ish colors in there with some yellow. This yellow is definitely Darling Ducky yellow. Those are really pretty together. You've got your spackled look on the back. There's some very springy looking little buds coming out there. Oh, isn't that pretty? Sort of magnolia-y looking. These are all sort of spackled watercolor-ish looks. That looks like a forsythia, just backwards. And then you've got a big bunch of flowers here. I would say that's probably not my favorite look. However, when I make cards, I tend to use little swatches. So I think, you know, little swatches of a lot of these busier patterns work perfect because you don't see that whole big pattern, but you get lots of color in a small piece. But I definitely would work with these stripe patterns. I love little strips of stripes down my card and things like that. So yeah, definitely doable. All right. So those, just so that you know, those come out in November for customers, but demonstrators can pre-order them now. If you decide that you want to take advantage of the demonstrator kit, there was an opportunity night at 7 o'clock this evening that Stampin' Up! Was having, but I just couldn't fit that in with doing this live. So I didn't do that, but I would love to chat with you if you thought about doing this, because $35 for $125 in product, and there's no strings attached to it. We hope that you'll stay, but there's no need for you to feel committed until you try it out and get your discount, get more of these great products at your discount while you're staying. So I encourage you. Stampin' Up! Encourages you to come and try it out. So no strings attached. All right. So talk to me if you're not sure. I won't try to talk you into it, but I'll try to ask you questions about maybe what's holding you back or why you would think you wouldn't want to do it. Okay. Or, you know, you can continue to support me. That's great too. You know, I totally get that some people, it's not for everybody. Some people don't want to place orders on their own, but the thing is, everybody's pretty much placing their own orders today because of the way Stampin' Up! Had to set it up. So you're already doing pretty much everything that I do if you're placing your own order. So it doesn't look much different at all from my end in putting my orders in and getting my discount. So anyways, I would love to chat with you. And again, I'm not pushy. I don't want people to miss a good deal when I see one. So I have some customers who buy a lot from me, and I'm like, you know, like I would be amiss in saying keep buying from me when you could get that from yourself at a discount. So, and I don't give my discount out. Like I'm sort of a business person, but I think it cheapens it if I'm giving that discount to everybody. And yeah, so do it yourself and get a discount. Yeah. All right, guys, that is all, unless I didn't see any questions. So I hope that you got some ideas tonight, and yeah, happy stamping. I'll see you hopefully next week. God bless.